Madeline Pryor and Ben Reilly have teamed up together. However, it's just not two, it's three. We had Venom join them as well, and Venom has reverted back to his old state. Why is he the mindless beast that he once was instead of King in Black? Well, let's find out in this newest installment of The Dark Web.
What's happening, webheads? Welcome back to another episode of Spider-Man Weekly. Hopefully you mind Mr. Negative there in the beginning of the episode, kind of doing a little intro to the dark web. Little fun fact though, Mr. Negative is my least favorite Spider-Man villain. Yeah, I can't stand the guy. I just don't like the character. I don't like the way he's drawn. I don't know. There's something about him that I just didn't like. Maybe because he was created by Dan Slott, right? I don't know. But hey, he's doing the intro to this video, so enjoy him while he's there. All right, so let's talk about the Dark Web, right? We got Dark Web, The Amazing Spider-Man issue 15, and then we got our first tie-in, the Dark Web X-Men issue 1. Crossing my fingers that these tie-ins are good, that they add some value to the story, and, after reading it, I can't say after reading both issues I was blown away, or this might be the best Spider-Man event. After I read the first, Dusk issue, the Dark Web issue, I was like, man, this seems like it could be really good. But after reading The Amazing Spider-Man issue 15, I'm not going to say that it's not going to be good, but when you read the issue, it feels like there's a lot of holes in the story, and to get the full effect of the story, yeah, you're going to have to buy all the books, I feel like. Okay, and I'll explain that as we kind of go along in here. And unfortunately, that's the way Marvel does things these days. I wish if it was a Dark Web event, it was just Dark Web 1 through 5 or Dark Web through the Amazing Spider-Man books. So you don't have to buy all these other books. It's a business ploy. That's what they do. They've been doing it for years. If you don't like it, then just don't buy it. That's all I can say. So this way, if you want to follow it, you follow it through my channel and you do it for free, right? All right, so let's get started here. Let's talk about The Amazing Spider-Man issue 15. So Manhattan is all taken over by Limbo, by Madeline Pryor. She's got her Limbo demons coming out, and our heroes have to kind of, try to stop them. But the big thing that happens in this issue, and what made it good for me, okay, was the artwork in here. For one, we had Ed McGuinness artwork, which was absolutely gorgeous. I wish Ed McGuinness did the artwork in the entire run, and it just seems like he's only going to be doing probably while the Dark Web is going on. But in our last issue, we wound up seeing Venom make his way into the pages of the Dark Web. Madeline Pryor did some type of spell to revert him back to his normal self. Now, if you paid attention to the last issue, she took him behind closed doors and dumbed him down, did some kind of spell, right? And now Venom is like old school Eddie Brock, and all he wants is brains, and all he wants to do is kill Spider-Man. Is this a permanent thing? No, it's not going to be permanent, guys. So don't get upset if you're into the King in Black and you like what Donny Cates did with Venom and you like the storyline that's going on. This is just something that he's under the influence of Madeline Pryor, okay? So as this issue comes along, we get to see, Venom here trying to do battle against Spider-Man. That's really what this is. We get to see Chasm go against the Gold Goblin, and he winds up winning, right? And he confronts Spider-Man, and Chasm winds up leaving once again and says, I'll be back. You're just going to deal battle with Venom. And basically, we wind up seeing Ben Reilly just, again, affecting all the people in Spider-Man's life. So he comes across J. Jonah Jameson. He comes across Kamala Khan. He is taking out all the people that are within Peter Parker's life right now, and Venom is kind of that distraction at this moment in time. So that's what happened in this book. But when you're reading it, right, there's certain things that happen that you don't get the outcome to. So there's an instance here where Ben Reilly's about to fight Kamala. You don't see that in this issue. You're going to have to read that tie-in, right? So it felt very much like a little bit disjointed, or there was a hole in the story and you can't find out what's going on in that story. It's kind of like an advertisement for these books that are getting ready to come out. But the battle between Venom and Spider-Man was quite entertaining. I like that a lot. And there were some comical moments about, Christmas trees being burnt and stuff like that. It was good. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't anything that really progressed the story, because at the end of the day, what you got at the beginning of the issue is what you got at the end of the issue. At the beginning of the issue, you found out that Spider-Man was going to battle against Ben Reilly, but then he was being deterred by Venom, so Chasm can do all the stuff that he needed to do for Madeline Pryor, and then he meets up with Spider-Man at the end after the fight has happened between Spider-Man and Venom. So there was no real story progression. It was cool to see all these characters fight, and you like seeing the artwork, right? Okay. So let's move on now to the Dark Web X-Men book, okay? How does this tie into the overall event? Is this worthwhile to reading? I would say that if you want the full experience, especially after reading the Amazing Spider-Man book, I think you should read it just to get that full experience, right? So in this instance, with this comic book, you wind up getting the X-Men as they were walking through Manhattan right before the whole event transpired, when Madeline Pryor was summoning all the demons to come up into Manhattan. And we get to see the X-Men kind of shopping and doing all their things. And then all hell breaks loose. Now, what's cool about this book is that it's very much a holiday X-Men book. And I feel like in all reality, this book was made for a younger audience. For people that liked Spider-Man and wanted to read a Spider-Man comic, it just seemed like, in my opinion, that it was made for all ages, because there was not really a lot of major violence in this book, and the violence that was going on was a bunch of Christmas trees running around and, destroying Manhattan, and motorcycles running around, and they're talking funny things, and it was just a little, it just seemed that way. But this whole issue, there was a lot of part of it where the X-Men are defeating more of these Christmas-like creatures and stuff like that. And you're kind of like, okay, well, where's the story going to go here, right? So the whole goal of the X-Men was for them to meet up with Madeline Pryor in Limbo. And Magic was trying to back up Madeline Pryor to saying, you know what, she is not really as bad as you think she is. You got to get to know her and things like that. And, that's not the case. They wind up trapping the X-Men in Limbo, okay? And the cool thing is, in this book, which I thought was actually kind of funny, is we wind up seeing Spider-Man team up with Iceman and Firestar. That was really cool because it pays an homage to Spider-Man and his amazing friends. There's actually even a panel in here where you get to see the three of them together, right? And it was really a lot of fun, but things didn't work out as planned. Like, it wasn't supposed to be like, oh, we've been working together forever. It was like, we're working together this one moment in time, and it just didn't work out the way that we planned. And you get to see Bobby do battle against the Rockefeller tree, right? And it's like he encases it in ice, and it's just a whole nightmare. And this kid is just like, I saw this tree eat Santa Claus. It was comical. It was funny. I had fun with it. When you read these books, you got to go into it with open eyes. I get that it's an event and it should mean something, and if it doesn't mean anything, why do you publish it? Well, again, if you're a fan of the character, thick and thin, you're going to check it out and you're going to be hopefully entertained. And I made that point earlier. The thing that I liked about it was I was entertained. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was bad. I was entertained. It had action. It was fun. It got you in the Christmas spirit. How does this affect the overall story? It really didn't all that much, right? It looks like things are going to start to amp up in the future issues. We're still in the beginning stages of this story here. So after reading Dusk, after reading Spider-Man, after reading the Dark Web X-Men, not much has happened, but it has been entertaining. Overall artwork for the Dark Web X-Men book, it was okay. I've seen better artwork, but, take it for what it is. It was an average couple of issues here, better artwork in Amazing Spider-Man issue 15. Out of the 2 issues, I would say Amazing Spider-Man issue 15 is the better issue, and look at Dark Web X-Men as the holiday special. So there you guys have it. There are my thoughts on these 2 books so far. Am I continuing the Dark Web? Yeah, you bet your ass, because I got to cover this whole entire series. And you know what? I'm going to have fun doing it. And hopefully you guys are having fun watching it. If you dislike it, that's fine. You don't have to buy it, right? I don't think it's the worst comic event that I've ever read, and I don't think as of right now it's the best. Do I hope that it gets better? Yeah, absolutely I hope it gets better. But sometimes don't judge a book by one issue, right? It takes time to develop these things. And unfortunately, that's the way it goes these days. So, guys, as always, hopefully you like the content. If you do, make sure you pow that like button and pow that subscribe button. And of course, guys, I'll leave you more content right here to check out. In fact, this is the final nominees for Comic Book Cover of the Year. If you haven't voted all year, vote now, because it can enter you in a giveaway, and it will be a lot of fun. Guys, thank you so much. As always, keep buying, keep collecting, but most importantly, always read your comics. I'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye.